The last 5 years of Dr. Summerall's life, he was my spiritual father and mentor. And I remember right before he went to heaven, we were talking to him, and I asked him, I said, Doc, do you see revival for America? And of course he was always a gruff. No, I don't see revival for America. He said, I see a revolution. And I remember sticking that finger out. I see a revolution. But he said a lot of preachers will miss it because they'll have to lose their dignity to be part of it. I remember after he went to heaven, I was thinking about it. I thought, I wish I'd talked to him more about it. And I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, why didn't I should have asked him more about this revolution, spiritual revolution coming to America. And the Lord said, well, look up the word. I thought, well, okay. So I got the dictionary out, looked up the word revolution. And you know what it means? It means a circular motion around a fixed point of center. I went, well, what does that mean, Lord? And he said, change what's center in your life and you'll start a new revolutionary movement. And you know, all through our ministry, we've had the miraculous, the supernatural. And one of the things Doctor said to me that would be the sign of this revolution is that all God's people would work in the supernatural and in the gifts of the Spirit. And for all our ministry, we've had phenomenal manifestations. Not just the 9 gifts of the Spirit, we've had healings and we've had miracles. We've had teeth filled with gold. Literally, right when I'm looking at it, gold running off of a tooth, filling every tooth in this lady's head. And I could take you right to Auburn, Illinois, where she lives, and you could see that gold tooth that God filled. It's happened 7 times. A guy that didn't even have an eardrum started hearing supernaturally. My own mother raised from the dead. The signs and wonders were more than just miracles and healings. We've had cripples, blind, deaf. We've seen God heal so many people. Cancer. Even just recently here in Louisville, a lady, they did an x-ray. She had 30-some spots on her lungs, lung cancer. So they scheduled her for surgery. They did a preliminary x-ray before they took her into surgery. Couldn't find one spot on her lung, completely healed. But not just the healings and the gifts of the Spirit, and words of knowledge and prophetic stuff, but our meetings have been marked with often like people seeing a cloud just roll into the room. Often people would smell the fragrance of a rose, like the rose of Sharon, or the fragrance of like frankincense, or people would see open visions of the Lord or angels. I remember one lady healed miraculously of cancer. The healing completely manifested in the meeting when she saw Jesus, just like you would be looking at me, in an open vision, physically on the platform while I was preaching. And you know, all these things throughout our ministry that we've seen work. The most exciting part is training others, like Dr. Summerall told me, that they can do it also. And you know, it just seems like in all the years that we have worked and labored in the kingdom of God, it's like now is the moment I've been waiting for. Because now there's a generation that seems to me to want the supernatural, but they don't want all the religious junk with it. They don't want all the trappings of professional Christianity, ministry, religion junk. They just are wanting to see God move. And that's how I got in this. You know, I realized that if God left my church, it'd be 6 months before we knew it, because nothing supernatural ever happened. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted a life that was supernatural. And I see a generation now for the first time in 40 years of ministry that really, really, really wants God to show up, supernatural things to happen, but they don't care about any of the religious junk you would put on it. Let's do the real work. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, is not just doing it, but training a generation to do it. And I feel like now more than ever, we've got the permission from heaven to take the things that we've seen work and show other people how to do them. Of course, not only train people, but man, if anybody needed a healing, we know God can heal their bodies. We know there's signs and wonders, and they're available today.